envelope in the Sunday bulletin. It's designed to fall out of your bulletin so that you need to bend over and pick it up off the floor several times. I've picked mine up off the floor about 6 times this morning so far. This Sunday, we really wanted to turn our attention to the concern of homelessness in the world. And obviously, we have a shelter here in Wallingford that addresses some of those concerns, and we have unfolding within days this horrific typhoon in the Pacific. Typhoon in the Atlantic would be a hurricane, but this particular typhoon/hurricane may well have been the worst in recorded history since we've been keeping records. And we have all seen the images of the horrific homelessness, loss of life, destruction that this wall of water coming in across the Philippines has done, and now it's continuing into the underbelly of Asia. I have asked Dr. Tom Thurber if he would be with us today. And Tom, if you would kindly come forward, we'd have you stand in the pulpit. Tom has a long history of working with the shelter here in Wallingford. He's devoted many, many hundreds of hours to that particular effort, and his heart is filled with concern for those who find themselves in the deepest, darkest, and most challenging places of life and in need of housing. So I'd like to take some time now to have Tom share insights and wisdom and words from his heart with us. Welcome, Tom.
Welcome, and on behalf of the Wallingford Emergency Shelter, its staff, its residents, we want to extend a hearty thank you to each and every one who has given so much, especially from this congregation, over the many years, both monetary as well as the many hours that you've given. I understand that there's a group that comes out every Thursday evening. Could you just raise your hand if you're here, that serves the meals? Oh, there you are. Okay. Thank you so much for that. What I wanted to do very briefly this morning is to, well, first of all, just tell you a little bit about myself, which I don't like to do very much. But suffice it to say that I'm a practicing psychologist, and I have my office in Meriden, been in practice now for 36 years. My other hat brings me to the Wallingford Shelter, and I don't know, Reverend, I think because of my own beginnings, I came into the world as an orphan and a foster child for many years. And I guess I've always had a special place in my heart for people who are down and out. And the Lord truly has blessed me, as I'm sure He has you. His miracles are just unceasing in the way He deals with us in life. And I'm so grateful to Him for that, and I want to try to give back as much as I can. Moving on, just briefly, the overall picture of homelessness in Connecticut. Right now, all our shelters are full. If you call 211, there's not much they can do. We are turning away about 2 to 3 people a day. Now, when I use that term, turn away, I mean, you understand, we will try to do everything we can for them. We'll give them some food, some blankets, and try to find some place where they can dwell for the evening. But sad to say, we cannot take everybody that comes to the door. People are being discharged from hospitals and from prisons, and many without a dwelling. In Connecticut, they have what is called in the wintertime a no-freeze night, and that means that whenever the temperature gets to 10 degrees or below, we must take the people in. So during that time, we may throw a mattress or two on the floor and not let the fire marshal know that we're overcrowded. I understand also that the state must provide and does armories and motels, so there's some place for them to go. But you know, I don't know about you, but if I stand outside at 25 degrees, I'm freezing. So it's a big problem. We all know about it. There just isn't enough dwellings or enough homeless shelters to accommodate the need. And it seems to be growing, and I'm sure that's due to the economic conditions that we face in the world today, or in our country especially. We also, about 2 years ago, you might be interested, built a couple of family units. And these are adjoining townhouses, and it just represents a whole new direction for us, and we're so happy we did. In the last 17 months, we have taken in 9 families with a total of 12 children. It is transitional housing. They're case managed and are given 4 months to kind of move on, to find adequate housing, employment, so on and so forth, so that they can become more self-supporting. And we've been very, very successful with that. If we could just raise a little bit more money, we may be able to add yet another 2 units. The foundation is already in the ground, but at the time, we did not have enough to go beyond the 2 units. So 4 units is still in the future for us. I have here, Reverend, a list of needs for Wallingford Shelter, and I'll make that available to you. I guess you can post it on the bulletin board. But very briefly, pajamas for men and women, bathrobes, socks, slippers, towels, soap bars, shampoo, T-shirts, underwear, men and women, gloves, scarves, and holiday gift shoe boxes. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that concept. Take a shoe box and put toiletries and other things in it, wrap it up in market and woman, and that makes for a nice little gift around the Christmas tree. I'm here also because I am in serious need of overnight staff. Now, we do have full-time, not full-time, excuse me, we have part-time paid staff. Right now I have 5 who cover the 7 nights. Some of them are obviously doing 2 nights a week. We need an assistant to work along with them. And generally that's men, but we've had women who are willing to do it as well. The obligation would be to come at 7 in the evening and help check the people in, sort of kind of just monitor their needs up until 10 o'clock. When the lights go out, everyone, including staff, retires for the evening. You would then get up at 6, put on cereal, milk, coffee, toast, etc. in the morning for breakfast. Some will leave earlier without the breakfast, others will stay, and by 7 a.m. everyone is out the door. So again, excuse me, we have a very serious need for men and or women to volunteer as assistant staff during the evenings. I